Hello. Today, I'm going to play some Final Fantasy 15. This is my first video I've ever made. I just beat the game not too long ago, and now I'm just finishing all the bonus quests and all the other small things I missed throughout my playthrough. I had a feeling that this video might be pretty relaxing because I watch a lot of ASMR videos about Final Fantasy 15. We'll just turn the volume way down. And now, we'll be picking this one. I recently got the flying car, and that's been really nice to use. I just built a PC not too long ago, and this is one of the first games I played to test how powerful it was. For any of you wondering, I have a RTX 2080 and a i7 870K. I have some mods on here, so I have Ignis as Panther from Persona 5 and Gladio as Dante from Devil May Cry 5. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to follow.
Folk here are real friendly. Yeah, everybody greets you. Takes some getting used to.
I love how they all talk to each other. They remind me of like a K-pop band, or they're just really close. They make you wish that your friends in real life were like them. Now, when we get to a spot where there's enough space for me to take off, I'll shoot off and you'll be able to see what that's like. The PC version of this game is so beautiful and runs much smoother than the other options you had at your disposal. I had the PlayStation 4 version before, and I was not a very big fan of it because it was maybe around 20 frames a second, and the textures were not half what they are on this. And also on this you have, I don't know if there's ray tracing in this game. I do not think there is, but it just looks really nice, and these textures are very highly detailed and interesting to watch. So I think coming up here, I'll be able to find a spot to take off here pretty soon. Here we go. This is my most favorite part of the whole game. I did not get this feature till the very way afterwards. Once you beat the game, you're allowed to go back and finish what you didn't complete and whatnot. And so that's where I want to go. Oh, and we crashed. It happens. Doesn't really matter though, this is more of a ASMR kind of video. For someone to relax to and not have to think very hard. Just listening to my voice, and hopefully they enjoy Final Fantasy 15 just as much as I do.
Everything in order? Yep. All right.
Right now I'm doing a quest to help the restaurant at Hammerhead. Oop, and we're crashing already.
Now then, let's start from the top.
Yeah, if we go this way, I'll be able to take off. I just also began playing Final Fantasy VII. And I'm growing to enjoy that pretty well. I find it really interesting, the the plot about Midgard and other reactors taking power from the Earth and polluting the environment, but on top of a plate saucer above the city of Midgard, there's people living there who are in the upper echelon of society and are allowed to not have to live with all the pollution. I love the sounds of Final Fantasy 15. I love when they all talk to each other. And I love on PC that you can have mods from Steam and put them into the game. It makes it much more interesting to play after a long time. I only got into Final Fantasy 15 when I started to play around, I believe, February, and I instantly fell in love. I only have 37 hours in the game so far, but I definitely would like to get more in there. And now we're going to try to take off once more. This time we won't be crashing. I think this time we're just gonna park right over here. We should make it, yep, right here. Whoa. And we crashed once more. I have a M.2 SSD in this computer, so the loading times are incredibly quick. And that makes
Everything in order? Yep.
everything much better. Because if you are on a normal hard drive on the PlayStation 4, you will very quickly realize how slow the write and read times are. And this PC just has very superior writing and reading times for memory and storage. As you see, I made the car a sparkly, shiny, I would say a light red, almost dare call it pink. A mix of pink and red. And I believe, yes, I picked the most white interior I could find. I love Persona 5. I think Persona is the best game there really is right now out there. And if any of you are not aware of Persona news, there was recently Persona 5S was leaked by Best Buy by an employee, and people believed it was the original release of Persona 5 on PS4 was being redone on Switch, and many people were excited for it, but it happened to be that they did not go that route, and they actually create a Dynasty War-like game, Dynasty Warriors-like game called Persona 5 Scramble Phantom Thief Fighters. And don't get me wrong, Nocta does not look safe. I love the graphics, especially when it rains on the car. In my opinion, nothing really looks any cooler. Nothing could possibly be any cooler. And my absolute favorite place in this whole map, I would have to say, would have to be Golden Key. I've learned the theme on guitar, and I often practice it to, I'll get better at the guitar. And I used to take lessons when I was younger and enjoyed it immensely, but fell off from playing and thought it would be better as just a hobby, being more of a novice, and it gives me more joy, I suppose. Gotta slow down. Not on top of that car. There we go.
Should be a nice change of pace.
I have the royal fatigues on right now. Or maybe they're not the royal fatigues. Let me see what they're called. Kingly raiment. These are the prince fatigues. I do really like that outfit. And I have one other.
Didn't mean to do that.
I love how they argue with each other. If anyone has any siblings or anything along those lines, I believe they would definitely connect with these characters.
Imperials above us.
And this is a chocobo. Chocobos are really fun to ride, and I got a mod for them to be very fat.
Any plan of attack? All right, through 'em. I'll circle around.
Oh, the Imperials are. Oh. This game definitely struggles
Thanks for the ride.
with maintaining a very stable frame rate, but this is my favorite part of the game. I get a run in here.
Time for some action.
I can often get very busy and lots of stuff going on, but I like that. It's very and leave little holograms behind when you warp strike. And so the character Prompto, the blonde-haired folk over there, he will take pictures of you where places you go, and it's really fun. He'll constantly be asking you if you want to take pictures around certain places, and it gets kind of annoying sometimes how much he asks. But mostly, I'll humor him. I'll be saving that.
Oh, love the lighting.
So that'll finish a quest for me right there.
Magitech engine. It's close. Everything in order? Yep. All right.
I'll be able to go one other area, and then I'll end the video. This is just so cool. The way the car transforms into like the tires all float to the back. You can see a need to go to Hammerhead to go fix the Regalia. And this is what the vehicle is called, the Regalia. It's a very cool name. I think the anime Naragami talks about regalia stuff like that. If you've ever watched the anime Noragami, I highly recommend you do. If you have not, it's a very, 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 very good anime. It's slightly emotional, but I really enjoy it. It's a very, very, very good production and really well animated, and the characters are all so great. They're all amazing. Yeah, that is the city of Lestalem. And the interesting part about this city is that it's all women working at the factory, which they produce energy at the reactor, and they produce energy for, I'm presuming, the area around and also the city, but it's only comprised of women that work there. And all the men are basically just talking about how they are all relatively depressed because their wives are the breadwinners, but in my honest opinion, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't mind if all the women were the ones working. I believe I'll be having to go through this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come over here. We'll come down. Even though I finished the game, and the most spoiler thing I've showed you is by far this car is about it. There we go. Perfect landing. We've had a couple botched attempts to begin with, but now we're fine. Put up the top and make our way through. I'm going to need to. This is what I meant about the rain. Look at the rain on the car. And look at the way the drops carry a trail of and accumulate water as they go down and cause trails. And they're all incredibly unique looking. And they get bigger as they go down. I mean, I don't know how you do that or how exactly that's needs to be done, but I find it very, very, very nice. All of the scenery in this game is absolutely superb, and even though this is a fantasy game, it really does an incredible job of being grounded in the reality that we're all familiar with and allowing us to, obviously there's not chickens we can ride, or chocobos they call them, or giant gods, or cars that fly, but you could see that one day happening. And it just definitely is a nice thing to think about.
Nice weather.
Must be. So here's the place where you rent your chocobos at. Right here. And I'm gonna need 7 days for them. Oh.
Alrighty. I'll be waiting right here.
That's a race you do it. one point in the game. And speaking of chocobos, let's call him in to come and help us.
Let's go.
And isn't that just beautiful? Look at the water and the reflections. It's absolutely remarkable the way the water just shines off of the sun. So we'll just dismount my chocobo
Aw, thanks, buddy.
and we'll take a
Good shot
photo.
from here.
Good call. Now it's picture time.
Ah, weather cleared up.
And they'll be taking the photo with Prompto.
Ready or not?
Oh, that's such a good photo.
We ought to hold on to this one.
Well, the sun rising, I suppose, or setting. I think I'm gonna call this video it for today. I'm definitely going to be more interested in making more videos like this and improving on making videos. This is my first, but thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed this Let's Play.